The strengths of fascinating education are really in the approach, in the stepwise release of this information so that the child picks up on it step by step. Dr. Margulies is a unique educator, unlike the educators that I've known. Dr. Margulies provides a special human touch to each of these slides so that the child has more than an equation on the board, has more than an Erlenmeyer flask. They have a great picture from life that gives that concept life for them so that they then learn it, whether it's chemistry, physics, astronomy, biology. He gives, in his fascinating education documents, it piece by piece in an exciting way.
The program Fascinating Education has so many interesting aspects to it that I think are especially important for students. Fascinating Education gives them the opportunity to get an answer in a way that is so easy to understand. Last year we had a wonderful person who was in our laboratory, and he couldn't keep his hands off of going down to visit the GEMS program many times. And when I've told him recently about the website Fascinating Science, he's got his children and their friends all huddled around computers having grand fun with this. This is readily an international program.
But I fell in love with education as a high school teacher in 1958. In 1973, I founded my own school. In 1982, I started training teachers in public schools, in corporations, and did some international work. And I've been training teachers and working with schools and corporations and writing books ever since. This program that Dr. Margulies has solves two major problems. It's, first of all, we need more scientists. Now, the best way to get more scientists is to get children hooked on science. And what his program does is hook them on science. The second thing it does, and this is very important, is it teaches them how to ask questions. And what happens in school for most people is they have to answer questions, but they never get to ask any. And the inquisitive mind is based on the capacity to identify problems and ask questions and look for the solutions and answers to those questions. Children raised on this program that we're talking about will have a tendency to have that kind of thinking, and that is extraordinarily valuable. I have seen a good many programs that use PowerPoint presentations that take you through a series of pictures of various sorts, and they ask you questions about them and have you do things. Most of them have been very tedious and boring to me, and I couldn't understand why anybody would bother to do it that way. And it's because there is a tendency on the part of people who design learning programs to want to tell what to think, you know, to structure the thinking for the person rather than to elicit thinking. The programs that elicit thinking are few and far between. I've seen maybe half a dozen in my entire lifetime that really do that well, and this is a very, very special exception to what's usually done with PowerPoint.
Protons, like electrons, repel each other because positive charges repel other positive charges, just like negative charges repel other negative charges.
Anybody see a problem coming up? There's a problem looming. What's the problem?
How are they so close in the nucleus?
Right. How are all these protons sitting next to each other? How come they're not exploding apart? What's keeping them together? Go ahead.
Maybe there's something negative between those protons.
Maybe. That's a thought.
Does anybody see a problem with protons bunched together in the nucleus? Of course. They should be repelling each other. All the protons should be exploding apart. This troubled scientists for a long time.
To help motivate and excite students about the biology curriculum, Sound Force Consulting has developed a reward system tailored to the recommendations of the teaching staff and students. Rewards range from small rewards like gift cards, food, coupons, etc. to very impressive music programs through Sound Force Studios. The rewards are offered bi-monthly. First, the winning group GPA out of 7 groups of 4 students per group. Second, group GPA leaders. Third, the Rising Star Award for the most improved student in each class. And finally, fourth, the Class Homework Challenge, in which over a 2-week period, there must be at least 100% class homework turn-in. In the music program, students are taught a sophisticated and easy-to-learn music software called Sequel from the world's leading audio software manufacturer, Steinberg Media Technologies. The Dunbar biology students will use the Baltimore City Public School System biology curriculum as subject matter to create their own music in any genre.
Sequel, a new innovative music software program designed to be an easy-to-use, all-inclusive music studio within your computer. It provides all of the tools needed to record, edit, mix, and perform your music. Sequel's built-in sound library allows for anyone to create music in minutes. Sequel comes with thousands of loops built in, covering a wide range of styles from hip-hop and R&B to pop, rock, dance, and electronic. Pieces of music can be assembled using Sequel's extensive library of audio and MIDI loops without ever pressing a note on a keyboard or strumming a riff on a guitar.
If you were a bird, you look at this bird's eye view, what I'm trying to show you is that just because you answer one question, there's another question that's going to be raised. Every time you answer a question, another question's coming up. So this is the way I want you to approach all of science, is say, okay, I understand that. Now, well, why is this happening? And why is this happening?